Who's gonna drive you home? Well, I'm a friendless stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? On the expressway to your heart.
On the air everywhere, Doc 103.9. It is the Auto Show with Louis Herron. I'm Chip Linus, and we're at Louis Herron Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Eatonton Road in Madison, as we are each and every week at this time. And Louis, good morning to you. Great to see you again.
Good to see you. How you feel?
All right, feel great. It is.
You get a cup of coffee. You waking up. And
everything's good.
Everything's
good.
That's right.
We. Last show, we're talking about the 5 things you must do before you buy a car, and I think we're going to pick up on that.
Yeah, we're gonna pick up on that. But also too, just want to make sure. Can you hear me good?
Yeah,
okay.
We can hear you fine.
All right. So I just want to reiterate again the value of understanding that when we do this show, Chip, you may not be in the market for a car right now, but eventually you'll find yourself in that position, whether it's children getting older, change in something in the family, unfortunate accident. There are various reasons that bring people to the market of buying something, so new or used. So we're talking about, things you really must do. We're going to get into today some of the new and used, but we're going to change it up. I'm going to actually start off by talking about one of the things that maybe you wouldn't really consider when you're buying a used car. Now, you and I discussed, Chip, many times that when you buy a used vehicle, much unlike a new car, you have a lot of inspections, things you need to watch out for, a lot of checklists, a lot of Carfax, a lot of things you need to do. So again, one thing that you must do is you must get the used car checked. Now here's look, I'm a dealer, so obviously we check the cars. But as a consumer, you really need to validate that the work that was performed to the vehicle is done. So either one of two options: A, you ask the dealer to take the car to a local person that you know. And I know some dealers may be like, oh my gosh, why would we, look, bottom line is, if I'm trying to sell a customer on one of my products and I've checked it out, you should have zero insecurity of that car going somewhere else. Now, I will say this, in fairness, if you take a used car to a technician or to an automotive repair facility, their job is to find things, right? So understand that if I checked out a car and tires have 430 seconds on them, and my standard is 430 seconds is good. We can certify a car with 430 seconds, and the technician that looks at the vehicle recommends tires. Their job is to recommend. So all I would tell you is, for you, the consumer, making sure you get the car inspected. From the dealership perspective, when we come back from the break, I'm going to tell you something that you can do that would totally shed light and clear. If you're buying any pre-owned car from any lot, will 100% give you the sense of security and feeling good about or bad about the car you may buy.
Great. We're looking forward to that. And Louis, if you're getting your car inspected somewhere else, does the consumer typically pay for that?
Yes, absolutely. But again, you can get a car inspected for $100.
Yep.
I mean, and I'm not saying $100 like it's no big deal, but in light of buying a $13,000 car, spend $100.
Peace of mind.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, good insurance policy.
Yeah, but again, I just, I can tell you almost every single time I allow someone to take the automobile to a personal friend or mechanic or whatever the case may be, they never come back to me with nothing.
Right.
They always come back to me with a position of negotiation, okay? So you have to understand that if the car is priced for $12,995, as an example, it's priced at $12,995 based on what's been done in the car, the market, and what we think the car may bring.
Right.
If we spent another $900 to replace all the tires, now all of a sudden the $12,995 would now be $13,788 because now our car has brand new tires, so it's going to bring a little more money. So you have to look at both sides. So if you get the car inspected and you want to come back and renegotiate the deal, just know that typically cars are priced based on what work's been done in the car, what the market is, and so as long as everyone's on the same page, everybody wants to get a good deal. Dealer wants to make a good deal, wants to sell a car. Consumer wants to buy a vehicle and get a great deal. As long as everyone's got the same goal, it can all be worked out.
Sure.
Right? So.
Yeah, and I imagine your big thing you're looking for, you just want to make sure the transmission's not going to fall out next week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Very good. We're coming back. We're at Louis Herron Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. This is the Auto Show. Happy you joined us. We're back with more in just a few moments. This is the voice of Lake Oconee, Doc 103.9.
Who's gonna drive you home? Well, I'm a friendless stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop hop inside my car on the expressway to your heart.
We're back at Louis Herring Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram right across from Chick-fil-A in Madison. It is the Auto Show. You catch it every week, getting the inside look from the dealer's perspective on what to do and what not to do when buying your next car or truck. And we're joined again by Louis Herring, and we're talking about the 5 things you must do before you buy a car.
Absolutely. So if you're just joining us, when we left for the last break, we were talking about getting the vehicle inspected. I think that's huge, and we're talking pre-owned, obviously. In light of the 5 things I think you must do, we're talking new and used, so we're kind of intertwining them. But one of the things, in addition to getting the car checked out, that I think is huge. And again, if the dealer doesn't want to do this, it's a tail sign that that may not be the car for you. I'm not necessarily saying that may not be the dealership for you, or something's wrong with the dealer or the dealership. All I'm saying is, you need to get this done. You want to make sure you do this. If you're buying a pre-owned car, you want to ask them for the service records on the car. And I'm not talking about the service records of where they bought the car from, or the service records of the customer who traded it. I'm talking about, since you've owned the car, dealership, what have you done to the car? How much money have you spent on the car? What did you turn down? Understand this: when we get a car in the shop, whether we trade for it or we purchase it from a lease, off-lease, turn-in, or whatever, wherever we get the car from, we look at the vehicle, and obviously we're looking at the market, we're looking at how much money we have to spend, we're looking at the parts, the service, the tech time, all these factors, because if you drive yourself too high on the price of the car, just like consumers experience negative equity when they're trading, Chip, no different than a dealer. Myself, if I trade for a car today for $10,000 and I spend $900 in service and I detail the car, now I don't have $10,000 in the car. Now I got $11,200 in the car. Okay, no problem. The problem is 3 months from now, 2 months from now, the car was worth $10,000 when I appraised it. Now the car is worth $9,000. Well, I still have $11,200 in the car, so I have now sitting with $2,200 of negative equity in this car. And the problem for dealers is we're sitting with negative equity on 40 cars, 50 cars sitting on the ground currently right now. So understand that we fight the same thing consumers fight. When the book drops and you spend money on the car, we have to look at our exit strategy. And obviously the consumers don't end up paying for that negative equity because they typically pay what the car's worth. Mm-hmm. So if the car's dropped in value, obviously KBB, Edmunds, Auto Trader are going to reflect those pricing, and that's where they're going to be negotiating from. So, in the end, you want to make sure that you get the service records. You want to find out, because you want to know if you change the oil, you replace the brake pads, and you spent $633 on the car. Okay, great. And you turn down tires, right? And you turn down fix the back bumper, okay, whatever the case may be. At least you know, as a consumer, well, why did you turn down the tires? Well, strictly for cost. Does it need tires? Well, it looks like it can last another 18,000 miles. Well, can we negotiate tire? I mean, again, this is the stuff that I think you must do as a consumer. It doesn't necessarily bust a deal. If you like the car, and as long as you're realistic and understand that, look, there's a cost associated with it. If you want the work that was declined, work it out. But at least if you're okay with that, you're going to take advantage of the price point that you have it. At least going in that it's less expensive than the other 3 Camrys I looked at, and this is the reason why.
Right. But if you're at that point, perhaps, and you're negotiating tires, you'll probably be able to give them a better deal than if they said, "I'll take the car as is," and then they went across the street and bought tires.
All day long.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want any declined service work to the vehicle that you're considering purchasing, you would be a lot better off to work that out with the dealership, because at that point the dealership, remember, we still want a sale, right? There's still an incentive. We still want to make the deal. Look, I know consumers may not believe this, but you could talk to any car dealer in the country. Every single deal we do, we don't make money on. I mean, it's like anything else. When you're at Dairy Queen and you got so much lettuce and so much tomatoes and so many, you buy your package of stuff. After it's there a week or so, if you haven't used it, you got to throw it away. You've lost money on that stuff. It's much like an automobile. You have negative equity, you have aged inventory, you have certain circumstances. So again, what I'm saying is the consumer benefits a lot more than they think when we need to sell the inventory.
Right.
We're paying floor plan interest. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that consumers would never really think.
Or care about.
Correct, and nor should they care. You know, a consumer sees the showroom, nice tile, big building, everything looks good, you know. And so, again, in their mind, you know, they're responsible to make the best deal for themselves and their family. And again, one of the things you must do is make sure you get the car inspected and make sure you look at the repair order on the car from the dealership.
Louis, is it a fair question or an unfair question if a consumer came in and said, can I see a list of cars that are on the lot right now that have negative equity?
No, that's not an unfair question. That would be we don't have that list.
I see.
What you're referring to, what we call is we will book out a car. Like, for example, I'll get with my used car manager, and like basically once a month, I'll tell him, hey, go book out every single car. That's actually a chore. I mean, because you got to look at the auto auction, you got to look at the books, you got to look at Black Book, and so basically you got to go get 4 or 5 figures on every single car, which means you got to go look all that stuff up based on what you own the car for, and then you obviously subtract and see how much negative equity or water you have in these cars. So we don't really go through that drill, but once a month, you know, because it is laborious, it takes time, but we do go through it. Because you need to know where you're at. You need to know that, especially like at the end of the year. There's times where when we talk about urgency of selling cars, like sometimes in December, when you go from December 31st to January 1st, the books drop dramatically. So you know you're talking about the negative equity of maybe, let's say there's $80,000 of negative equity in my used car inventory. Well, literally by the change of a day from December 31st to January 1st, it can go to 180.
I see.
That fast.
I see.
So from a dealership perspective, I would much rather lose a few bucks on a car that's aged, that I know that needs to go, that's a good car, it just sat here, or we didn't market it properly, or we didn't get enough people to drive it, or whatever the case may be. I'd rather get Miss Johnson in that car who lives in Eatonton or Madison or Greensboro, and then I would sell at the auction and just take a lump on the car and not get any retention. So my point is look, the dealer wants to sell you a car. The dealer wants to work it out. The dealer wants to find a way to make things happen. And you know, you have huge leverage because you're the one that wants to buy, and you've got the resources to do it and or the financing, and you're going to buy from somebody.
Yep.
And so the dealership should work very hard in trying to give you whatever information you need.
We may change the name of the show to "This is what gives dealers gray hair." All right.
Exactly.
All right. We're
This is
coming.
true.
We're coming back in just a few moments. This is the Auto Show. You've landed right here, and we appreciate it. You can hear it every week at this time. We're back with more after this. This is the voice of Lake Oconee, Doc 103.9.
Who's gonna drive you home? Well, I'm a friend, a stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? On the expressway to your home.
Doc 103.9 on the air everywhere. We're at Louis Herron Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. This is the Auto Show, giving you the inside skinny on how to best buy a new or used car your next time around. And we're joined with Louis Herron once again, and Louis giving him some good tips today, good nuggets.
Yeah, we're talking about the 5 things you must do. We were talking specifically today about pre-owned vehicles. I think it's important. You know, and if we recapped, we talked about in past shows, you know, skipping a test drive, how that's definitely something that's a problem. Also, just, you know, we discussed focusing on a monthly payment, again, how that could be an issue. Again, there's just various things that you know, you want to just really, you know, hone in on when you're buying a car. And as it relates to used cars, today we spoke specifically about making sure that you get the car inspected and you make sure you deal with the service ticket and know what was done to the car. I mean, just a huge piece of understanding that what you're going to buy is a quality piece of inventory and you're getting a great deal. Again, to reiterate, the thing that I would encourage everybody is make sure that, you know, when you are in that zone and you're looking at what work was done and what wasn't done, if you like the car, just because the dealer did not do certain service work doesn't mean he was shady or was trying to slip one by somebody. Remember, this is like anything else. It's a business, right? So we're looking at, you know, marketplace. We're looking at inventory. How many of those cars do we have? How many are in the market area? What are they priced for? How much money to spend? If something is safe, roadworthy, you know, it's a used car for a reason. It's not brand new. because it's not brand new. So we don't typically bring a car up to a brand new standard unless it's a certified car, which we have. And if you certify a car, the manufacturer makes you bring them up to a higher level. But all of them undergo the same 140-point inspection. All of them still get surveyed and looked through thoroughly. All of them still get identified about what needs to be done and what's recommended. Then at that point, the used car manager will typically look at the ticket and make a determination, do we want to spend that kind of money? The other thing too, Chip, like customers may not realize, if a car's worth $10,000 and we're making a deal with Chip, and Chip says, I am not doing the deal unless I get $11,000 for my car. Well, the dealership's got one of two choices. I can either lose a deal, okay, negotiate a little bit more with him, or put the money that he wants me to put in the car, and now I'm $1,000 high in the car. Once again, I've just converted negative equity from day one. The book hadn't even dropped yet. So again, when you're looking at these factors, when you're looking at a pre-owned car, you got to understand: was it a trade-in? Who traded the car in?
Right.
Was it an off-lease car? So again, there's so many different dynamics. I just want to encourage everybody. Just because a dealer won't do this or didn't do that doesn't mean it's a bad car or a bad dealership or they're trying to get over or trying to hurt somebody. There's just a lot of factors going in, but the more you're aware of those factors, the more educated you are, the more you understand. Then you understand it's not emotional. You don't get upset about anything.
What I hear, Louis, what I hear you coming through with the last couple breaks is just be transparent.
Mm-hmm.
If the dealership you're at is transparent and both of you want to make the deal, let's just make
the deal. I agree 100%. That's exactly right. So,
and if the dealer or wherever you are is not being transparent, that might be a red flag.
I think it would be. If a dealer was not willing to show you the service ticket on the car, something may not be right with the deal. I mean, because honest and truly, I couldn't see a scenario where I wouldn't show a customer the service ticket. Even if I thought if they saw the service ticket and saw what was recommended, and maybe it's a good car, it's a clean car, but there was $2,000 more recommended by the technician to do the work, and we elected not to do the work, and I know that's probably going to squirrel a deal, or the customer's going to want that done, and we can't afford to put it in there, or whatever the case may be, I still would show them the ticket. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
This is what you're going to buy, and it's a responsibility from the business perspective to make sure the consumer knows what they're getting.
Right.
Right. I mean, so it's like, look, this is what it is.
Right. But as a consumer, you don't know that car may have been on the lot for 3 months, and you are ready. The next guy that makes me any kind of offer,
that's right.
It's gone.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
All right. We're back with more. This is the Auto Show. Catch it every week right here on the dock. We're at Louis Herring Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Eatonton Road in Madison. This is the Auto Show on Dock 103.9.
Who's gonna drive you home? Well, I'm the friendly stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? On the expressway to your home.
Dock 103.9 on the air everywhere. It's Chip Linus and Louis Herring. We're at Louis Herring Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. It is the Auto Show, fastest hour on the radio. Always a great time, and we thank you for checking us out each and every week. And Louis, we're wrapping up another show, and boy, it's been a good one. If folks listen to this, they are going to have some questions to ask when they buy the next car.
Absolutely.
Particularly a used car.
Yeah, we covered some items of the 5 things you must do. The show's kind of been ongoing, so we had some. If you've tuned in last week, you would have heard. But yeah, we stuck pretty much with used cars today. And again, I just think it's important, Chip, when people are buying or purchasing a car, it's the second largest purchase most people will ever do.
Yes.
So it's like, take the time to understand, take the time to make sure, you know exactly what you're doing and how to do it. And the fact that people buy cars every 3 to 4 years, the gap is so big. Even if you bought 8 cars in your lifetime, there's still information and things you could know that would help you on the deal, and a lot of times people, look online and, get some of that content and information. Again, I think, from my perspective, being in the industry, and wanting to earn consumers' business, I think shedding light the way I attempt to helps everybody.
Yep, very good. All right, not going to leave without asking about service. How's the service department? Any specials?
Service is doing great right now. We got a $39.95 oil change tire rotation special. Okay, so again, for $39, you can get your tires rotated and get an oil change. At the same time, again, we're located right across from Chick-fil-A in Madison. If you're coming from I-20, it's exit 114, and we're right off the highway. Excuse me.
And the lot looks great. You
Thank
got a lot new inventory here.
We've got a ton. We just got more cars dropped off the other day. I mean, literally, we're starting to overflow. But it's the right time of year. I mean, this is the selling season. Once you start getting into March and April and May and June, you start getting into that whole. You're really starting to pick things up. So come see us. We got. You go online to louisheron.com. Check out our inventory. You can do that in your slippers, or you can come visit us. We've got right now over. A little over 80 used cars, 85 used cars. We typically sell 45 to 50 used cars a month. And of course, we got Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. So we got tons of inventory. I got over 60 trucks on the ground, Ram trucks, and tons
Really,
of Jeeps.
What I'm hearing, it might be a good time to get in here. If you're packed, you need to get them out of here.
That's it. And we will sell them. We are not married to the inventory. We call it metal. We can buy more metal, but we cannot buy more customers. We definitely will do whatever we can to make sure the experience is exceeding expectations. Great car deals, but equally important, hopefully develop a relationship and get to know you. And so when you come back for service, you trust us, and you're like family.
Driven by Fire. Your book.
That's the book. Yeah, doing well. It's doing well on Amazon too. Actually, selling a few copies.
There you go.
I'm pretty excited about that.
All right.
So anybody want to pick up the book and get inspired, or go to Amazon, or it's on iTunes, or it's on Barnes and Noble, or it's here at the dealership, the hard copy. But you can get one sent to you as well. So just all you gotta do is go to Amazon and put in Louis Heron, it'll pop up.
If
So
you come to the dealership, you can get it signed.
that's it.
There you go.
Absolutely.
All right. Louis, great to see you again. We're back next week. It is the Auto Show at Louis Heron Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. I'm Chip Linus. Thank you for spending some time with us. We're back with more next week. This is the voice of Lake Oconee, Doc 103.9.